Are you willing to obey the Almighty? Or are you willing to obey what man says how to obey the Almighty? That's a question. And it's a question that I want you to ponder on while we look at this study today. If it's your first time, welcome. I pray that if this can impact you, even in a small way, and it will, if the Almighty is starting to work on you and to show you to delve into His Word more, then I pray that this can help in a small way. So as I say, if this is the first time watching a video on Messiah Kidnapped, then welcome. Today we're going to look at Yeshua himself. So many times, so many pastors will say that just listen to Jesus. You don't have to listen or go to the Tanakh. Just listen to Jesus. What I'm going to show you is that Yeshua cannot contradict the Father because they're one. If a house contradicts itself, the house will never stand. We know when Yeshua talks about the parable of building a house on the sand or building a house on the rock. Obviously remembering that Yeshua is the rock. But they cannot contradict each other. And yes, you say, but it's the new covenant. It's the new covenant. The new covenant is just another layer of what the Almighty wants for us. And in fact, if you read back on the Sermon on the Mount, we know what Yeshua says, okay? But what we tend to miss out is that Yeshua expounds more on the commands because he expects us to live a higher level of standard of the commandments of God, and he talks about it. Adultery. Even if you're a married man and you look at another woman, you're committing adultery. That you look and you lust after this person, you're committing adultery. These are the sort of higher standards that Yeshua expects. So the new covenant is a layer. It's a layer upon layers. And I want you to consider this and think about it. The promise was given to Abraham. Then the Torah came. Okay? Did the Torah nullify the promise? No, it didn't nullify. Okay, so the promise was kept, then the Torah came, but the promise was still there. And then Yeshua came, and then the new covenant was given. It's another layer. And what Yeshua is, he is that promise. So you had the promise, you had the Torah, then you had the new covenant, the promise. So the promise does not nullify the Torah, and the Torah does not nullify the promise that was given. And as I said to you, that Yeshua expected higher standards of us because we have the Spirit. We're meant to have the Spirit, and it is the Spirit that leads us into all truth. By grace. It's by grace. But I want to show you here what we're going to read is that Yeshua can't contradict the Father at all. He came to teach us and expound further on what he expected from us. To walk in obedience, to walk in mercy and grace and righteousness. I'm going to show you, because there's going to be time that when, particularly people from the Muslim community, who will tell you, show me where it says that Jesus is God. So we're going to look at that, and then we're going to finish it off with where actually Yeshua says that he is God. But I want to show you that he can't contradict the Almighty himself. So with that in mind, if we go to John chapter 14, okay, John chapter 14, and we'll start at verse 1. So, let not your heart be troubled. Believe in Elohim. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many staying places. And if not, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I shall come again and receive you to me, that where I am you might be too. And where I go, you know, and the way you know. Thomas said to him, Master, we do not know where you are going, and how you're able to know the way. And how we are able to know the way. Yeshua said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would have known my Father. From now on you know him, and have seen. Philip said to him, Master, show us the Father, and it is enough for us. And Yeshua said to him, Have I been with you so long, and you have not known me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. He who has seen me has seen the Father. And how do you say, Show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak from myself, but the Father who stays in me does his work. Okay, so verse 10, very, very important. Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak from myself, but the Father who stays in me does his work. So you can see there that Yeshua cannot do anything without the Father's consent. Now, Yeshua just can't speak words without any evidence of what he's saying. So we will look a bit further than that. But for the time being, we're going to continue to read on through. So, verse 11. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me. Otherwise believe me because of the works themselves. Truly, truly I say to you, he believes in me, the works that I do he shall do also. And greater works than these he shall do, because I go to my Father. And whatever you ask in my name, that I shall do, in order that the Father may be esteemed in the Son. If you ask whatever in my name, I shall do it. If you love me, you shall guard my commands. I shall ask the Father, and he shall give you another helper to stay with you forever. the Spirit of truth, whom the world is unable to receive, because it does not see him or know him. But you know him, for he stays with you and shall be in you. Now, I mentioned Islam. Islam teaches that here, and I shall ask the Father, and he shall give you another helper to stay with you forever. They take this little verse and they twist it and say that the helper is Muhammad. Okay? So, but as I say, read the next verse. The Spirit of truth, the Spirit whom the world is unable to receive. Islam don't believe in any spirit. This is the Spirit, and you cannot see it, but that they teach that Muhammad is this in verse 16, the helper. And that is wrong. But you know him, for he stays with you and shall be in you. In you. They don't believe in that. They don't believe that the Spirit dwells within us. But here it says this. Verse 18. I shall not leave you orphans. I am coming to you. Now do you see that? I shall not leave you orphans. I shall not leave you fatherless. I am coming to you. Yet a little while, and the world no longer sees me. But you shall see me, because I live, and you shall live. In that day you shall know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. He who possesses my commands and guards them is he who loves me. And he who loves me shall be loved by my Father, and I shall love him and manifest myself to him. He who loves my commands will be loved by my Father. They're no different. The commands are no different from what the Father gives. No difference. I just asked that you humble yourselves in reading this and drop all doctrine that you have been taught. Otherwise you're never going to understand. You're not one bit in the slightest. Verse 22. Yehuda, not the one from Kiroth, said to him, Master, what has come about that you are about to manifest yourself to us and not the world? Yeshua answered him, If anyone loves me, he shall guard my word. Okay? Now, if you look at the difference in wording, verse 21, commands. Verse 23, my word. Okay? Yeshua answering him, If anyone loves me, he shall guard my word, and my Father shall love him. You cannot speak anything else other than the word of God. And we shall come to him and make our stay with him together. He who does not love me does not guard my words, and the words which you hear is not mine, but of the Father who sent me. Don't tell me, and it's very common, that the God of the old is different from the God of the new. They're no different. People say, and we've heard it in the church, he's the God. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That was already spoken in the Tanakh. It was spoken in the Tanakh. It repeated in the New Testament, as we call it. But yet we say that he has changed. And yes, you'll say, he's merciful, he's merciful. Did he not strike down the two people who sold their possessions and lied about bringing a certain amount in Acts? The husband and wife. Struck them both down for lying. If they had have said, we have sold this and given you half of everything, it wasn't an issue. But because they lied, the Almighty struck them down. So don't tell me that the Almighty is different. He is not. Yes, there's a lot of grace, but he is no different. He doesn't change. Verse 25. These words I have spoken to you while still with you. But the Helper, the set apart Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, he shall teach you all, and remind you of all that I said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives, but do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. You heard that I said to you, I am going, and I am coming to you. If you did not love me, if you did love me, you would have rejoiced that I said, I am going to the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And I have told you before it takes place, that when it does take place, you shall believe. I shall no longer talk much with you, but the ruler of this world is coming, and he possesses none at all in me. But in order for the world to know that I love the Father, and that as the Father commanded me, I am doing, rise up, let us go from there. Now all that Yeshua spoke there are not his own words. He's speaking what the Father told him. How do we know that? I want to take you to Deuteronomy 13. Chapter 13, verse 1 and 4. And these couple of verses in Deuteronomy 13 is the basis of this ministry. That you know and understand that Yeshua can't contradict the Father. And I have used this quite a number of times, and I'm thankful that the Lord has given me this to stand on. So, Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1 to 4. This is what the Almighty is speaking. Give to Moshe, preparing him to go into the land, to live in the land that will become known as Israel. So, Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 1 to 4. When there arises amongst you a prophet, or a dreamer of dreams, and he shall give you a sign or a wonder. How many signs and wonders did Yeshua give us? And the sign or the wonder shall come true, of which he has spoken to you, saying, let us go after other mighty ones, which you have not known, and serve them. Do not listen to the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahovah your Elohim is trying you, to know whether you love Yahovah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being. Walk after Yahovah your Elohim, and fear him, and guard his commands, and obey his voice, and serve him, and cling to him. This is the Almighty speaking through Moses. Who is the Almighty? Yeshua. He is God. He is speaking these words. And he's given us a warning. If anybody does great wonders and great signs and wants to lead you astray, don't listen to him. Put him to death. So he's given us a warning here. Yeshua comes and starts speaking only what the Father tells him. Okay? So there's the warning. Now I want to take you to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 13 to 19. Deuteronomy 18, verses 13 to 19. Be perfect before Yahovah your Elohim. For these nations whom you are possessing do listen to those using magic and diviners. But as for you, Yahovah your Elohim has not appointed such for you. For Yahovah your Elohim shall rise up for you a prophet like me from your midst, from your brothers. Listen to him. So, had the warning. We're being tested. Then Yeshua is speaking again. Listen to him. Listen to me. For I am going to come. Listen to what I say, and I will teach you what I have already spoken. Because remember what they said. Let us not hear the words of Elohim. We cannot stand it. That's what they done. Moses, you go, and all that he says, we will do. Okay, verse 16. According to all you asked of Yahovah your Elohim in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, there we go, we've got it here. Let me not hear again the voice of Yahovah my Elohim, nor let me see this great fire any more, lest I die. And Yahovah said to me, what they have spoken is good. It's good. Now I'm going to send the prophet. Me, I am coming in the flesh. Listen to me. I will teach you what I've already wrote. Verse 18. I shall raise up for them a prophet like you out of the midst of their borders. And I shall put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. And it shall be the man who does not listen to my words. Yeshua, my words, which he speaks in my name, I require it of him. Require? What is require? People speaking falsely in his name, not listening to him. He's going to require it. Are you in ignorance speaking falsely in the name of Yeshua? Are you teaching that he's a lawbreaker? Are you teaching that he's lawless? Because if he's breaking the law, he's lawless. I require it of him. So, what we've read so far from John chapter 14, and now we've gone into the Torah. Yeshua can't speak anything else other than what he already said. And the words that he spoke, he's expounding on what he was expecting from the people. He taught it with love. He taught it with mercy and grace. But not to the religious leaders. Because they were hypocrites. Many of the religious leaders of his day were hypocrites. Because they were not doing what they were hearing. They have changed the laws of the Almighty. They had changed the laws. They have changed the Torah, the written Torah, into the oral Torah. Now, what I want you to bring you to now is this confirms who Yeshua is. So that if anybody asks, where does it say that Yeshua is God? Okay? So first of all, you can bring them to the Exodus, the burning bush. What does Moses say? Who shall I say sent me? Okay? Tell them, I am sent me. So, I want you to go to John chapter 8. Let me see. Okay, John chapter 8, verse 58. Okay. In fact, I'll just go a little bit more than that. Maybe I'll start at verse 55. Okay, John chapter 8, verse 55. And you have not known him, but I know him. And if I say, I do not know him, I shall be like you, a liar. I will be like you, a liar. But I do know him, and I guard his word. His word. Your father Abraham was glad that he should see my day, and he saw and did rejoice. That's the promise. Abraham was given the promise. He's seen the promise. He was given that revelation that the Lamb of God would be slain. This is the promise. Now, verse 58. Yeshua said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham came to be, I am. You can't get it any more deeper than that. He's explaining that he is God. He is the Almighty in flesh. And if you teach, now I will say that some people are teaching in ignorance because they don't read the Tanakh. But many people are not teaching in ignorance because they want to teach the prosperity gospel teaching. And they want to separate the Father from the Son. They're separate. They contradict each other. So if you're being taught that, then you're being taught a false Messiah, a false gospel. Well, I hope that this study has blessed you even in a small way. I look forward to doing another study in the not too distant future. So, shalom. Shalom from Northern Ireland. May the Almighty richly bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. Shalom.